Hi everyone, welcome to FlossTube 48. It is May 30th, 2025, and it's been almost a month. It'll be a month, I think, Sunday, so yeah, it's been busy. And then I also thought, I don't have that much to show, so I'll just kind of wait. And then as I was pulling everything out, I thought, I got a lot to show. So we'll see. I don't know, there's piles everywhere, so we'll just get right into it. I hope everyone has had a good May. In the opening, I showed you a few pictures of the garden, and we've had a lot of rain, a lot of cooler temperatures, so the spring things look great. The peppers and the tomatoes, not so much, but it's gonna warm up. So anyway, put a few pictures in there, and I also put some pictures of the finishes I showed you, I think, last time. In fact, there's one hanging up there, you can kind of see it, but I put some pictures in there so you can see where they hang in my sewing room. So let's just get right into it. I have some things I've worked on. I have a finish, a start and a finish for May. I have some things I'd like to work on, a little bit of haul, so let's just get going. Last time I showed you this wooden oval lunchbox that I had seen on Firesides and Fairy Tales, and I had put the link in there, and I will put the link again this time. But it has a divider that you can take out, and I got it on Amazon. I'll put a link to that too, but there's many kinds. Just search wooden oval lunch box, I guess. But I was on Facebook, and I don't remember which group it was, but someone had one of these, and they had put, things like scissors and thread, working things in here, and then in the top, and I thought this was fabulous, they had lined it with a beautiful fabric and put some of their pretties in there. And then someone else mentioned that they were going to make a band to go around the top one. Fabulous idea. So I wanted to share that with you. It's just a wonderful little box. And I just wanted to share that idea of putting the fabric in it. And also, if you have one or thought about getting one, wouldn't it be beautiful to have a band there? So now where am I going to put this? Well, that's a problem. I'll slide it over here. There's also something I saw that is a show coming up next year. I'll put a link to the webpage. They're also on Facebook. But it is Threadworx. They're going to have, it's an exhibit that you can put your cross-stitch items in, up to 3, I believe. And they're going to have classes, and I know Teresa Koget's going to be teaching at least one of them. It's June 19th and 20th, 2026 in New Harmony, Indiana, which is southern Indiana. And I'm just reading this, and it's Threadworx. Well, I cannot read what that says, but I will put, it's not threadworx.com, I don't think. Threadworxfair.com, but I will put the link in there. They're releasing information, so I've just started seeing some information, but I wanted to share that because that looks like a wonderful day trip if you're within driving distance, or maybe an overnight. I think it's 3 hours for me, 3.5 maybe, so that's a ways for a day trip, but I might go and spend the night. I don't know. But anyway, it looks fabulous, so I wanted to mention that to you. Okay, where to go? Let me show you my finish. So May Mania, some people, here's stuff already falling. Some people were doing Market Mania, which has been fun to see. I don't remember what I did last year. This year, I just thought if I want to start something, I will. If I don't, I won't. And I think I'd shown you some that I wanted to start. Well, most of that didn't happen, but I did. You know, I make plans and then there you go. But this is one I did start and finish. This is Liberty Feather Tree by Threadworx Designs. And I'm using 36 count cookie dough linen by Needle Bling and the called for flosses. And here it is. It is so pretty. I think I'm gonna make it into a pillow. Isn't that pretty? I put a picture of it in the opening so you could see it. I just love it. Love this color linen too. Let me put it, that's more true. And then here's a close-up. The color kind of fades when I get close-up. So that was a start and a finish. So I'm thrilled about that. I just love how that looks. And I had some things that I worked on, kind of a focus piece. Let me show you. Oh, I'm going to have to show you in order because they're just all piled up. This one I started, I probably showed it to you last time. This is Maria Higginson Sampler by Stacy Nash. And I am using the called for 36 count, I think it's straw by Weeks. The sticker's still on it, yes. And the called for flosses. So I'll show you that. So here are the called for. Oh, get them kind of organized here. Beautiful colors. So this has been one of, I guess I call it my focus piece, just I tended to go back to it since I saw you quite a few times, returning to it. I got some of the border done. Weird trees on these, but they'll be fine. And the house is massive. Let me fold it. So there is the, that's about the right color. Let me go up and show you. See, it gets kind of a weird color when I get close, but that is over one. And I got frustrated last night because I realized I had missed a word or put an extra word in or something, so I had to pick a bunch out. So I got frustrated and set it aside. There's one little section here that kind of ghosts. And the colors on that roof, I love. Let's see, I think it's London Fog and should have looked that up. Deep Sea, maybe? Let me show you because this is just gorgeous. London Fog. Rolling my eyes because I have to put my, oh look, I can read it. Here it is, London Fog. It's kind of a gray, green, and blue. That's the mortar. And then the slate is Deep Sea, I think, or is it Peacoat maybe? No, it's not that. I'll hold it up again so you can see it. It is Deep Sea. It's these two, which are really quite gorgeous together. Those two. Now I did do a change. There it is. Look at that. I don't have all the mortar in there yet, and I know I'm missing a brick. I got to fix that. But I did change the wood around the windows was calling for, I think, Aztec red, and I didn't like that. So I changed that, I believe, to chestnut. I just thought the Aztec red, which is beautiful. Let me show you these while I'm pulling them out. Maybe it was Adobe. And I'm mixing up the Aztec red. That's the other one I'm working on. Anyway, it was red, and I just did not like that. And is it not chestnut either? See, I'm working on two different designs here. Now you can see the colors while I go through. Dirt road, I should have made a note on my chart, which I started to. Is that the right? These are the flosses for Come Into My Garden. No wonder I can't find it. Here are the flosses. Don't tell me is there London fog in that too? Okay, let me back up this. There's my tag. These are the flosses. Maybe I already showed those. All right, Aztec Red was the color around the window. I did not care for that at all. And that was just personal choice. So I changed it to Chestnut. Well, it's a wood. Let me see, is it? Yeah, it is Deep Sea and London Fog. I guess I did show the right ones. So that's so far the only change I believe I've made. I'm debating about the brick. In the design, there is no mortar in the brick. And I'm debating about adding mortar. I'm not sure yet. Look at the difference in the roof once the mortar's added, or the fill-in. So I don't know, I'm debating about that, but I'll get it all done first. Now, this is kind of an interesting little side note here. That is on this side, but not the other side. So I'm debating about whether to do that either. So I'm just going to finish the house and then decide about that. So I have another chimney to do. Of course, I've got the two-story house, so I've just got the first one done, but it's a gorgeous design. And look at this. Look at this big house. The walkway's in perspective. I think we talked about that last time, 1-point perspective. Oh, beautiful. So I have worked on that quite a bit. And then I'll show you the other one. Put the threads back in the right spot. The other one that has been a focus piece, you just saw the colors for. It's Come Into My Garden by Blackbird. And I am using the called for. Now, sometimes I'll make a little tag, which you'll see with a picture of the chart. Sometimes I just put one of these on there. It just depends on how crafty I feel and whether I just want to get stitching. Here are the colors of the floss. I think these are all weeks. And the linen I am using is 40 Count Wood Smoke by Tabby Cat. I adore these colors on this linen. Look at that. That's good representation right there. So you can see I've got the top almost done. I've got a border flower to finish there. And one down over here. Might have all the little doodads in, I'm not sure yet. I'll double check that. So I have been working on that, and oh, I love this combination so much. I love these colors on the wood smoke. It's just beautiful. And I think I said this last time. It's almost as if this piece is stitching itself. I work on it and just get involved in it, and I look and like, wow, look how much I got done. So I hope you can see the color of this. It's just beautiful. It's a joy to work on. Many of my things are a joy to work on, but then some things are just that extra special joy. And this is one of them. Oh, I just noticed I got a nice thread sticking out there. What in the world happened there? No, I have to investigate that. So the Maria Higginson and Come Into My Garden have been focus pieces and not intentional, just, well, what should I work on? And I tend to grab them. So I've also worked on. Just anything I worked on, even if it was just an afternoon, I grabbed. Oh, and there it goes on the floor. I think we'll have to stop, just like we did last time, because I knocked stuff on the floor. I told you I had piles everywhere. I worked on this when I was with my monthly stitch group, because I'm filling in the grass. I think I was doing the door. So this is Betsy's House by Plum Street. Using the called for. And do I remember, and did I write it down? I tried to write everything down, but then I kept finding things I had worked on, and I didn't stop to write down on the chart what I was doing. Let's see, Betsy's House. "40 count Dames of the Needle, Mad Hatter." This, I'm going to show you the linen before I show you the stitching. I love this color linen. Look at the little bit of variation. There's a little bit of kind of a yellow green. There's a little bit of a rust, very pale, which this is a fat quarter. I'll be using this for other things, but here's Betsy's House. That's a good color there. Did I leave the hanging thread? No, I didn't. Okay, good. So just kind of working along with her, and then I was looking at it and I thought, I got a lot to stitch yet. I've got all the grass, I've got all the date, I've got the flags, I've got the figure, I've got the top. But it's beautiful. So that's another one I'm enjoying working on, and there's a lot of fill-in, so it's a good take along to work on the fill-in. And on the chart, the stars are left just as linen, and I went ahead and stitched probably the color here that's used for the flower. I just didn't care for the linen showing, so I went ahead and did that. So worked on that. Can I reach this? No. Okay, let me go to some other things, and then I'll come back to this one. Oh, and then there's another one on the floor. All righty. Just pick those up. The best laid plans of mice and men. So this one I worked on for an afternoon. Ink Circles, Forests of Sumatra. And this one is a chart that I picked up at the estate sale I went to last fall, and it had the linen. Let's see, is that on the floor too? There it is. The linen is 36 count sterling by Colorscapes. I'm gonna hold it up so you can see the linen first. But it's done in Gloriana, color Sumatra. And this one, it's pretty involved, so I just pick it up and work on a motif or two, depending on how big they are. And so I got one whole corner done. I'll bring it up close so you can see it. And starting of another. Look at the Gloriana on that. It's just beautiful. So worked on that, I think just one afternoon, because it's big. So where am I? I'm up in here. So I'm not looking at the whole thing. I am just working on one little section at a time. And I put that in my project bag that I made. And the fabric I picked up when we were in Indonesia, when I was teaching on one of the quilting cruises. Actually, we went there twice. But I picked up this, I don't know if you can see the inside, this beautiful, beautiful fabric, and then positioned the motif with the peacock in the back. So my Sumatra piece is in the project bag that I made from fabric I picked up when we were in Indonesia. All right, so those are on the floor. I think I'll show you what I restarted, and then we'll go back to the stuff that's on the floor. When I laid everything out, I thought, no, I don't want to drop it on the floor like last time. And look what happened. It's on the floor. So if you watch my Instagram, I had done a reel about this Quaker Virtues that I had seen when I was at the attic, and it was done, I think, over one on either 28 or 25 count. I loved it. Absolutely fell in love with it. And the called for, what they had done it with is it this one? Yes, water lilies, antique brass. Now, the model that I saw was more lighter blue and lighter green. This one has a lot of kind of brass color. So I started it, and I did plan on adding some other colors in with it. I don't think there are here, no. I started it, and it was just too brown, too brassy color. I mean, it's pretty, but it wasn't the idea I had in my head. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna restart it. So what I showed on my Instagram was, let me put these down, were two colors of fabric I was thinking of using. One was Darling David, which is this one, 25 count Lugana. Or, and you know which one I picked because it's wrapped up. Now, did I write it down? Good, it's right here. It is Heavy Cream, 28 count. Picked it up at Kitten Stitcher. In fact, I'm gonna show you the colors. I went to Nashville Needleworks when I was doing some other errands, and they carry water lilies, so I was able to look, and I found, and I think I showed you this before, or maybe it was on Instagram, Olive Garden, blue and green. Let me see if I can twist it. And then you can see I've added some other colors with it. I've got some blues and some greens in lights, mediums, and darks. So that's the palette. Oh, is that pretty? That's the palette that I'm going to use. Oh, that's gorgeous. Just like that. So I did start it with the, is Olive Garden the name? Olive Grove. I knew Olive Garden wasn't right. Olive Grove. Let me show you the color number. 244. And the reason, I'll tell you in a minute why I decided not to do it on Darling David. I do like it, but I decided to do it on this Heavy Cream, which does have a little bit of variation. Just a little bit here and there, very subtle. It's more of a cream color. It's not white. It's more creamy with just almost, not a tea stain, but just a little bit of another color on it. Now let me go up close, and I do like that better. So I'm doing that over 1 and 28, and I think I did the D. Yes, I did the D and the leaf in 2 of the other colors I just showed you. Now this design is very tight. There's a lot of motifs. So I will break some of the multicolor up with some of these other colors, the green, the blues. So some of the colors that I picked to go with Olive Grove I've got Gloriana Northern Lights, Denim Blue by Gloriana. Notice I'm doing lights and mediums and darks in the same tone. This one is Water Lilies Periwinkle. And Belsois Tortoiseshell. I think I did that leaf in tortoiseshell. What is this one? Seaweed. And this is Herb Garden by Belsois and Baguette. So notice I have shades of light, medium, and dark blue in the same family. Those of you that have taken quilt classes from me know I do enjoy doing the shades of a color family when we would work on our quilt designs. Here's light, medium, and dark green, and then just a touch of yellow because this green in Olive Grove, that color just worked well with it. So I don't know where I'll use the solids, but I am happier with how it's looking. And I thought about Darling David, which is a beautiful color, but there's a lot of modeling. And one of the things that bothered me about what's on the floor now, the night sky that I used with the antique brass, the modeling was kind of distracting from the beautiful modeling in the thread. So that's why I chose not to do the modeling. I thought modeling and then modeling of the thread. I'd rather let the linen be a little plainer and let the beauty of the thread show. So that was my thought process there. So did do a restart on Quaker Virtues, and because it's over 1, I just work on it again a little bit and then set it aside. So I'm very happy with how that is looking. And I did get several skeins of Olive Grove because I know it's going to take more than one. I don't know how many, but I did get more than one. All right, there's that. There's that. Okay, what I else have to show you is new starts and haul. Let me, well, while we're right here, let me show you the restarts because that was a restart, and then we'll go back to what's on the floor. Actually, this was a start and a restart because you didn't see it. I don't think I showed it to you. I purchased this back in the end of December. It was the anniversary release for Hands Across the Sea, Elizabeth Dinsdale. And I love the house. I love the design. The top of it's a night sky and the lower part is a daytime scene. So it's very interesting. And I did get the called for 103s. I think I showed this box last time, the artist brush box. So there's the 103s and one color, and I don't know which one that is. Is it 603? No, it's 597. I could not get. And let me see, it's 603s here. Yes, 603 here. It's 597. I could not get it. So I looked at what the DMC color was, and it is 3031. So then I went on the Vicki Clayton website and ordered the equivalent. So here's the color. It's a brown. It's used in the tree, but what I didn't realize, it's used in the over one verse. And what I should have done is ordered, see if they had the Swasserfine in something similar color. Did not do that. So I'll show you what I'm doing instead. So I started this on the called for Muddy Duck, which is beautiful. It's by Tabby Cat, which is kind of a golden. But all I had was tabby cat in 36 count, and I started it, and I wished I'd had 40 or 46. And the colors, I mean, the colors are beautiful, but when I was working on the Muddy Duck, the colors just seemed a little drab. I mean, they're pretty, and I'm looking at it second guessing myself, but there's two colors in the border. I was having a hard time even distinguishing. There were two colors. And the 36 count 103 combination I've used before, and it's fine, but I wanted it a little plumper, and I kept thinking, I wish I had 40, and I didn't. So then I looked through my linen, and I had a piece of 46 stained china by Dames of the Needle. It's much lighter. This has a golden tone to it. It's lighter. What I was looking for in my stash is Audrey, a Stitch Stitch bead, is working on Elizabeth Dinsdale. And she's doing it on a gray, and I don't remember what, but the colors were just singing. And that's when I looked through all my linen, and any gray I had wasn't quite right. But this is kind of a gray. It's not gray. It's not bright either. By bright, I mean it's not white. It's subdued. This is the color. And you can see there's a little variation there. Some little bit. So I restarted it, and I'm happier. And then I got into that verse over 1, and I thought, what are you doing? Why didn't you get the Swazerfine? I didn't. So I'm checking. Did I do tent? Yes, I'm just doing one arm continental or tent stitch. So I just have a little start because I had to restart it, but here it is now. This looks really white. It is not. It's more golden than that, but you can see the colors. Yeah. Colors are popping a little more, and I like the plumpness of the 103. And I've used 103 on 36 many times, but I don't know. I just, it was more appealing. And now seeing the Muddy Duck, now I'm second guessing myself. So I don't know, I might go back to this. It's been a rough month with a lot of stuff happening. And sometimes making decisions about that, I don't know. I think either way is going to be fine, and I'll make that decision, but let me just show you. I mean, they're both beautiful. Totally different. I don't know if I can hold them up. I don't know, but I restarted that, and I love the design. And I did just order, did I order some gray? 46, I think I did. I am not starting this 3 times. I don't. So anyway, that was a start and a restart. So yet to be determined where I'll go with that. So this box is nice because then I can just close it up. So worked on that a little bit, and then I've been a member of the Tudor Rose Sampler Guild for going on 3 years now. Some of the first ladies that I met when I went into Sampler Symposium, Shelley and Lori, and they told me about the guild. In fact, Lori was president at that time, and I have loved being part of that guild. Well, they just had a workshop with Linda of Erica Michaels, and I could not attend the workshop. It was in Dallas, but they offered the kits, an option for out-of-town members to purchase, so I did. And if you haven't seen the chart yet, certainly everyone that ordered has gotten it, but, and I forgot to mention, all of Tudor Rose meetings are on Zoom, so it doesn't matter where you live. So even though I'm out of town, I was able to get the chart, get the kit. It's a beautiful kit. Let me show you the whole packaging. It's got a sampler and some smalls and a strawberry, and it was all in this nice packet that was sent to us. So here is the sampler that I'm working on. It is adapted from a Norfolk sampler, and the wording is Old English. It says, "Welcome the rose, both red and white. Welcome the flower of our delight." So you can see there's a strawberry, there's a needle book, there's all kinds of extras in here. So I just have a tiny, tiny, tiny little start. So this is something that was offered through the Tudor Rose Guild, but I still wanted to show it to you. Now it came with Sleeping Bear, Needle and Flax, but I decided to change the linen because if you look at the picture, it looks lighter, and I know that sometimes the pictures change, and I understand that. I just liked the look of this lighter linen, so I changed it. And this is 40 count Thornfield, so still needle and flax. Now let me show you. It's weeks and one classic color works. So there's the colors. So I just have just the tiniest start of the top band right there. But I did want to get a start on it. I think each Friday during May, if I felt like it, I started something or restarted. So this was a start. Now that's Thornfield. So just a tiny, tiny little start. But I did want to show you that. So I worked on that. Okay, let me stop this and get the stuff that's on the floor. Maybe next time I won't drop it on the floor. Be right back. Okay, I am back, picked it up off the floor. Now you saw me working on this as well. This is Ann Hunt. I got this chart when I was at Sampler Symposium in 2023. And it came with the linen and the 103 in the colors that you see here. And while I was at Sampler Symposium, I kept thinking about, and probably because we had seen an example of multicolored Quakers, I kept thinking about that. And of course, there's the whole silk wall at the attic. And I thought, I want to do this. I want to do this in colors. So I'm just pulling the colors that I started with. There's a green, there's a gold. Okay, Woodland Trail. Teddy Bear. And then there's another one, and I don't see it here. Oh, there it is, Weathered Vine. These are the three I think I started with. Very autumnal, very autumn-ish colors. And what's fascinating to me, and I am doing this on 32 count vintage light exemplar, but I'm doing it over one. Oh, there's a blue in here too. I think it's this one. There's, look at this Woodland Trail. Now look at it on the linen, how bright it is. That is really interesting to me. It's down here. So what you saw were the motifs on the side. I added a lighter blue, and I had those few colors I just showed you. Let me put my glasses on to show you. And I thought I need a bridge color. So I'm going to show you what I added. I'm missing a gold. Do I have it? It seems like I'm missing one. No, there it is. There it is. This Woodland Trail 2. Look at that Woodland Trail. That's the top one. Look at how different it looks. So once I added that light blue down there, I thought I need a bridge. I need a bridge color between those few that I just showed you. That was my palette. So while I was at Nashville Needlework, I looked at their, this one's Gloriana. I looked at all of their silks and I pulled Gloriana Victorian Garden. I got 2 skeins because I thought I might need it. See the colors? It's got some of those colors in it to act as a bridge, and I'll show you. That's right here. So then while I was there, using this as my guide and the colors that I also had, I added some purple. I added some more blues. I added a light green. And then I added this, which is, I think, Scottish Garden, Highland Garden by Gloriana. Now that, there it is. So I've got this lighter version here. What I may do is add that darker version down toward the bottom, here and there, because I'm just going to, as I grab something, look at my colors. Here's the palette. So I am pulling colors, and I started with just colors, but then I added what I call that bridge color and then pulled colors to go with it. So look at this one. Here's that Highland. Oh, that's pretty. Look at that. Now I added the lighter color of the multi on the top, and I'm going to add this darker color or more saturated color toward the bottom. There's a principle in illusions in art that heavier things, just like gravity, are toward the bottom. Let's say you have a painting or just in the earth. Heavier things are down here. Lighter things are up here in the sky. So lighter things usually lighter colored, lighter saturation, denote higher, heavier, lower. That's just a quick, non-scientific explanation, but heavier toward the bottom, so heavier colors down here, lighter up here. So I might add this toward the bottom or in the middle. I'm not sure. I'm just going to use these colors and add them here and there as I feel appropriate. So here it is. Now I'll show you the design, because it's like, what's that weird line there? Well, it's Token of Love. Right there, you can see it's right on top. So I don't have the squirrel finished there, but I do have most of the side done. So I'm actually thinking that Token of Love, I don't think I'll do the multicolored there. I don't know. Don't want 2 multicolored next to each other, so I'm not sure. I might do that darker, do the outer ring, which is this color over here, and maybe add that darker multicolor inside. I'm not sure. I'm just going to go as it go along. So that is work in progress on Anne Hunt. And that's just kind of the, why did you do it like that? Well, that's kind of the explanation, but I'm very pleased at that palette. Oh, that's just so pretty. Again, pulling light and dark shadings of the colors that were in that bridge color. So I worked on that a little bit. And then I had started this, but didn't have much done. So I worked on it a little bit. Good Company by the Scarlet House. And I did get the called for Belle Soie. I'm missing 2, which finally are back in stock, so I just ordered those. Here's the colors. Oh, look how rich those are. I think somebody asked me one time, do you do everything in silk? No, no, you've seen a lot of weeks, a lot of, I have some DMC over here. It just depends. This one was done in silk, and I loved how it looked, so I went ahead and got it. But there is a, let me show you the back of the pattern so you can see. It calls for Belle Soie, but there's a DMC conversion, and there's also a conversion to hand-dyed. So you could do either. And I thought about doing the hand-dyed, but I thought the silks were so pretty. So let me show you that. Now I did change the house. Let me show you the house. It looks very light blue to me. But the color it called for was not light blue, it was green. So I did make a decision to change the house to this light blue that's already in the palette. And I'm on the fence about the border. Let me show you that too. So I started it and then I stopped because it's got a red in there, which I'm not sure I care for. It's done in Njord, and then some other colors. So I think there was a brighter green, which I took out and changed. I'm still on the fence about what to do with that border. So started it, stopped. I'll come back to it once I get more of the design done. This is on. Now you remember Come Into the Garden when I showed on my Instagram several different linens I was thinking of using, and one of them was vintage lentil. And in fact, I was ready to go on vintage lentil until I pulled out wood smoke, and that was it. So I decided to use the vintage lentil, Lakeside vintage lentil, on this one because it called for pear, vintage pear, which I don't have. But if you look at it, it's a grayed green. When I say green, it's just gray with kind of a greenish cast to it. Kind of a gray-green cast. And here's vintage lentil. Let's see. It's not quite as mottled as it's showing up here in person. But I liked how it looked, so I just have a little start on that. Start of the house, start of the tree. So I liked how that looked, and the verse, it's kind of fun. As you can see, there's a house, there's a lady, there's the dogs running around, there's, could be the ocean or a lake. There's a fence, a stone fence with a gate, and it said, she lives on the hill overlooking the sea with only her dogs for good company. She doesn't need less, she doesn't need more than to hear the waves crash upon the shore. So it just kind of reminds me of my parents' home on Lake Michigan all those years ago that I've talked about. So I have a little more to show you there. So that was a, I guess it worked on, not a restart. All right, let me show you some haul, and then I'll show you what's coming up and what I'm thinking of doing for June. But as far as haul, yeah, I'll show you this in a minute. I only have a few things. So I showed you this when I came back from the attic. This is new for Market 2025. This is Mary Chilton 1620. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the designer. But you can see it's all about the Mayflower landing in 1620. And the called for floss, I did not have. I don't even know what linen it's calling for. I don't know, I didn't get that far. I was looking at the threads Ren by Picture This Plus. Not sure if I have any of that. But the colors, the floss is from the Thread Gatherer Silk and Colors thread. There is a DMC conversion if you would like. I decided to use these because I've never used them. So I ordered them, 123 Stitch had them. They were missing 2. One was just released, the other one isn't in yet. So I'll order that when it comes in. But it only uses, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 colors. 2 I'm missing. I don't know if I need 2 skeins of any of those or not. I'm going to have to investigate that. I might need to get more of that. No, one of each. Okay, now it calls for 32 count. I won't do 32. Although I might test it. This might be like Dinky Dye, which is a little thicker and works well. This is a 12 strand, which I haven't used before. But I'm anxious to use it. It's gorgeous. It feels beautiful. It looks gorgeous. So the chart I had, but I did order and receive the silk. So I'm waiting on two more colors. So I'm just kind of getting that organized. Don't know when I'll start it, but I did wanted to have the supplies in. Had a couple things. If any of you watched Whilst Iris Snaps last FlossTube, you saw Helen Monroe has been released. And so I went ahead and got the PDF of that. This thing's so pretty. Back up so you can see the whole thing. So that was a PDF that you can get and download. And I did go ahead, I haven't even got them on floss drops yet. Here's, I'm sorry when I just hold up a wad of DMC. But here it is. There's the, look at those colors. So I've got to put those on floss drops, but there's the colors. So I went ahead and pulled the DMC to put it in there. So I did get that and a couple things. And I wanted to show you that I actually got from Amazon. So I'll put the links to that. Get them all here. So this is from Dritz. This is called a bobbin boat. And you know that I do love using the bobbin boxes for the Vicki Clayton silk. I'll put the link in there for that. Because you can just put them in there and close them up. And this has room for 28 bobbins. But what if you're doing something that only has a couple and you don't want to use a big box? So these little bobbin boats will hold 8. And you get 3 in a pack. They're also good for sewing in your bobbin. Here it is. But there are 8 of them. So if you're using smaller amounts, or maybe you're traveling and have less space. So I wanted to show you, they fit in there. The bobbins fit. So I'll put the link to those. Can't remember if they come in these 3 colors or you have options, but it's a 3-pack. So I did get those and immediately tried them before I showed you about them. So they're silicone. They grip nicely. So that's one thing I got from Amazon. This, I wasn't sure if it was a new book or an older book, but it's a brand new book called Quaker Samplers by Leslie Wilkins by Search Press. And this is, it has 10 traditional and 10 modern samplers. It has 180 individual charted motifs and medallions that you can do your own design, 3 full alphabets in lower and uppercase, and 2 stunning projects, a pincushion and a heart motif. Now I'm just going to flip through real quick so you can see it's beautifully printed, wonderful color. it is, oh, there's a lot of pages. Let's see, 128 pages. Just flip through real quick. You can see motif after motif. Oh, these are pretty. Let me see if I can get to one of the projects. Just all kinds. 10 samplers. Here's a similar squirrel to what Anne Hunt has. Not quite the same. So it has some more traditional and some modern. It's charted for DMC. Oh, look at this one, Sampler 6. Look at that one. Anyway, there is just all kinds of information, and I thought this was an older book that I'd missed, but it's brand new. So I'll put a link to that too. So I got that. And then my book of days, which I'm glad whenever I work on something, I write it in there, because I didn't realize I worked on so many things since our last FlossTube. But I am woefully lacking in stickers for summer. And so I found this, and this has over 650 stickers, and it was, I think it was $10. It's got 50 pages, so it's called Cottage Core. And I'm just going to, apples, look at these. Oh, beautiful springtime. I had some summer stuff. Here's some fall stuff. I just did not have, I had 4th of July, but I don't have like just summer things. Oh, I'm gonna put one of those in right now because I've been working on the garden. Look at the sunflowers. So anyway, I just show you a few of them. Here's another fall one. Oh, that's pretty. So if you're looking for another sticker book and one that's less expensive, it's got some alphabet, some more garden. There's just lots of things. More fall. So wanted to show you that because again, it's very reasonably priced and it's from Amazon, so you can easily get it. So a couple more things that I got, and then I'll show you what I'm thinking of doing for June. So I am a member of the Queen City Sampler Guild. That Nicola came to that guild last May. They're out of Cincinnati, and part of the time they meet in person, but they also have hybrid meetings. But for their, can't remember what anniversary it is. I should have written it down, but they gave us as members, this designed by Plum Street. I'm trying to remember if it's exclusive. I honestly do not remember. Upon my heart, it might be an exclusive to Queen City. I'm not sure. But Keepsake offered the members of the guild the option to get the linen, so I did, Dolly Madison, and the threads. So I just went ahead and ordered that. Because I know I was going to get the chart, but I just thought I'll just go ahead and get the whole thing. And then I'm also a member of the Sampler Guild of the Rockies, and they sent us a chart. I think it's their 30th anniversary. This is Plum Street Happy Day. I did not kit this up yet. And Sampler Guilds of the Rockies also meet. I don't know if it's every month on Zoom. Might be hybrid. Some months hybrid, some months Zoom. It's on Sunday afternoon, and we're usually really busy on Sundays with church things. So I seldom get to attend, but when I can, I pop in. And the Tudor Rose this year is celebrating their 25th anniversary, so it's a year of many anniversaries. So I wanted to show you that. And there was a little charm that came with this. I did not pull that out. I thought I had it in here. So the other thing I want to show you is, and many of you have seen that, Katie Strachan. This is the last of the haul. Katie Strachan has been working on the Britomart sampler. We've seen bits of it for a long time. Well, she's offering the chart, and you have an option of the chart, which you can order, or the chart with, is it with the silks? Is it, I'm trying to remember. It might be with the silks. I've already put them in here, which I've actually ordered a bigger version of the Gutermann box. This one is 18. I've ordered the, I think it's the 24 size, that, or 27 size, it'll fit. But here's the silks. So I think it's a kit with the silks. I'll put the link to the website. I went ahead and ordered the whole kit, and there's also an option for a class. It's going to be on legacy linen. I'm not unwrapping it. So I went ahead and decided to do the class, the whole thing. The class is in September, starts. And Katie's stitching is just stunning. And she's going to be talking about using these different threads. So I know that I'm going to learn a lot in that class that then could apply to other things. So it uses not 103, it's Soie de Paris and Soie Gobelins, and she will be explaining when to use them, where to use them. I'm very excited about that. So I have, it came beautifully packaged in this kit, which I just kind of all pulled it apart and have everything in my big Nantucket basket. I had to empty some yarn from it, but I've got everything in there. So it's waiting until the class starts in September. And it runs for 7 months, and you'll be getting PDF lessons and then where needed videos. And I think you have a certain amount of time after the class ends to watch everything. So I'm anxious for that. Katie shows a lot of this on her FlossTube, but the photography is stunning, and I'm not going to show you what's inside, but it's just pages. So well done, so well done. So I know the class is going to be excellent, but you do have the option, if you don't want the class, you can order the chart. And then I think there's a kit option without the class. And I believe Katie said that if you order the chart and then later decide you want the class, there'll be an option to add the class. And I think there's a DMC conversion too. Yes, I believe so. It won't, and Soie de J. It will not be exactly the same if you change the threads, but you do have the option to do that. So there is a thread conversion there. So there's lots of options. Watch Katie's FlossTube. I'll put a link, make a note to that. Put a link to that so you can see. I know that right now the kit, well, everything was sold out pretty quick, but she is restocking. So if you are interested in any of those options, put your name in, I think, your email, and then she will know that you want to be notified when it's available, and that will help her for purchasing to restock. So she said everyone that wants either the chart or the kit or the class is going to be able to get it. So we have till September, so don't feel like I don't want to make a decision yet or I can't do it yet. You have time. But watch her video. Her last one explains it a little more about ordering, but I'm excited. I'm excited about that. All right, so let me move that out of the way. So what I'm thinking of doing for June, of course, this could absolutely go by the wayside, just like what I said I was going to do last time and only did one. But I think I'm going to concentrate on, let me pull these, sorry, and get these, concentrate in June on some patriotic. I'm sorry, yeah, everything's spread out here. I started working on this last night. Plum Street, New Constitution. There's the called for. Combination of DMC and some hand dyed. This is the tag I was showing you. When I feel like it, I make those. So that way I know, what does this go to? I had almost a heart attack the other day because I didn't have a tag on it. And I thought, I don't know what this goes to. So that's when I made sure to tag everything. I just started working on this last night and this morning, so I'm not going to take it out of the frame, but here it is. And I do like to turn my Patoki like that, so I can just put the threads to the side here. So I'm going to, this is what I'm planning for June, concentrate on these. Here's another one. There is Liberty by Plum Street. Here are the called for. Oh, I did a tag for that one too. Sometimes I do. This is a piece of, and I don't remember what New Constitution is on. This is on a piece of R&R that was left over for something else, and I can't remember which one it is. This is where I'm at with that. Look at the colors. So pretty. And that was American Chestnut by R&R. It was a scrap that I had left over for something else, or it could be for this one. Don't know. I need to check my notes. This is Across the Sea, and I started this last year on Flag Day. This one does have some specialty stitches. Here's the called for. Looks like it's mostly weeks with one Classic Colorworks. So that middle section is over one, and the verse and the figure. There's a lot of different specialty stitches, but they're really quite fun, and they add beautiful texture to it. So I would say it's about a third done. So I think I've pulled 4, because I thought, well, if I work on one each week, make some progress on them. And this is the other one. This is by Brenda Keys, the Sampler Company. Which one? This is the New England Sampler. Here's the called for. And I'm doing this over one on, it looks like it might be Potato Lugana. So those are the 4 I'm thinking of concentrating on in June. We'll see if I do that. And then I have 3 big projects that are coming up this summer and into fall. Katie's Sampler Britomart sampler. It's on the floor here. That is September. And then I also mentioned how much I enjoy Mondays with Mary on the Our Sampler Facebook group. Well, Mondays with Mary, sometime this summer, maybe in June, maybe July, is going to be working on Mary Carter. So I went ahead and got that chart, and it's only got 8 colors, multiple skeins, but it's only got 8 colors. So I went ahead and pulled the DMC, and then I decided to go ahead and get, I know I have those and I didn't pull it. I have the Vicki Clayton Silks, and I have them in a box. Wait, here it is. All right, so here's the DMC. And then I went ahead and did my own conversion with a couple options for the Vicky Clayton silk. I think this light color, I did a couple versions, and the blue I did a couple versions of, because I'm not sure which I want to do. And I'm not sure if I'm going to put that on. Take a look. It's kind of a lighter linen. Vintage Fawn by Lakeside. So I won't be getting that. So I looked at the color, and I pulled a couple colors that I had in my stash that were close. This one is Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. It's a little bit darker. Here's the DMC. The colors really pop on that. Then I also pulled from Shakespeare's Peddler, 40 count natural tea bag, which is really close in color to what the cover photography looks like. Because I have no idea what Vintage Fawn looks like, so I just have to go with the cover. The only one I'm concerned about is this tan. So I've got to pull that, and that's where I might have to use another color. And I have to see if it's inside something, it's fine. So anyway, those are my options. So that'll be starting sometime this summer. So kind of pulling all the things together. And then the other thing that I'm going to be doing this summer is the, well, actually for the next year, is the Jeanette Douglas, what's it called? In the Garden series. Seasons in the Garden. And that is something that it's in 4 parts, and I think the first part's going to be coming in the next week or 2. It's gorgeous. It's involved. It's beautiful. There's a lot to it. So it's for a year. So I thought that's good. And I ordered it from the Village Sampler in West Virginia. And they're going to be doing monthly Zoom get-togethers. I don't know if it's really a class, but get-togethers. So I'm looking forward to that too. So I've got these 3 big projects in amongst everything else. So you know what? I'm just going to work on whatever comes up with the idea of working on the Patriotic in June. I was thinking of maybe doing some of my Hawk Run Hollow pieces in July and August. I'm not sure. That's on top of the other things that, but I just grabbed those out to work on. So I don't know. It's wonderful to have many things to choose from, and it's also overwhelming. So we'll see what happens. Let me just look. Okay. I think I've covered everything. So I want to thank you for joining me. I always appreciate your comments, and thank you for the hitting that like button, for the thumbs up. I appreciate all your support. And I don't know when I'll be back. It might be 3 weeks. It might be 4. I don't think it'll be before 3 weeks. Probably closer to 4. So toward the end of May or so. So until next time, I want to wish you happy stitching. And I guess that's it. Bye, everyone. Have a good stitching time till I see you next time.